This is me, asleep on a plane, dreaming of being a killer. I'm heading to ARDNAMURCHAN, the most westerly point of mainland Britain, a place filled with little more than seagulls, sheep and deer. I've booked a week in the hunting lodge of ARDNAMURCHAN Estate, a huge expanse of mountainous land where deer stalking is still a way of life. Here, for little more than 200 quid, you can stalk and butcher your own Highland deer. I'm a lifelong supermarket carnivore, but soft as I am, I wanted to see, taste and feel the death behind my dinner. It was a long trip, and the roads were dark and confusing. We were going to one of the most isolated places in Britain with no idea what was waiting for us. Would there be a blue-faced deliverance tribe dressing in the skin of outsiders, or just a small group of old women huddling around a pillar box and discussing heather?
I'm a little bit worried that I'm not going to fit in.
Deer stalking is the most traditional form of hunting in the world, as the practice has remained practically unchanged since the English aristocracy introduced it in the 1850s. It might seem quite primeval, but stalking a deer looks practically vegetarian compared to more common types of food production. We've all heard that intensive farming is melting the planet, that battery chickens are terribly depressed and ill-educated, and that every child born since 1987 thinks meat is grown in freezer aisles. But it's not all like that. In the Highlands of Scotland, the hunter-gatherer is still king. So it's there that I'm going to live, kill and feast with the last remaining indigenous tribe in Britain.
Is that the kind of thing we trek on? The knife coming up from the ground? It's completely sheer. Look at that. Surely deer can't live in that. I can't live in that. There's no way I'm going to be able to survive if you put me there for 5 minutes. We're going to go and stalk some deer in the next couple of days. Do you not fancy my chances?
If you never shot a rifle before, no chance.
What are you on about? He's telling us that we haven't got a chance of getting a deer.
We're going
to go stalk.
No chance.
In ARDNAMURCHAN?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll get in.
Yeah.
But it depends if he's a good shot or not.
Do you think I look like a good shot?
After travelling for 15 hours, losing ourselves on the thundering roads, we arrived. We were greeted with nothing but darkness.
Wow. This has got murder written all over it.
When the morning came, the darkness had gone, exposing this incredible landscape and the hunting lodge we were staying in. For a mere lodge, it looked an awful lot like a castle. Donald Houston, the owner of the estate, came to welcome us in.
The reality of living up here in the isolation is something that most people can't cope with. The nearest supermarket's 2 hours away, the nearest cinema's 2 hours away. There's absolutely nothing.
Do you find that all the people that come have the kind of right sense of respect for the...
Some do, some don't. There are a number of people, and I suppose an increasing number of people, who get a list of all the animals they want to shoot worldwide, and it's just ticking a box. So on occasion we have had people that fly in the morning, shoot an animal and fly back out in the afternoon.
Do you find that kind of approach a bit distasteful?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm from Camden, and while street crime may be a growing sport down south, I'd never actually held a gun before. To train us up as marksmen, ALISTAIR McLOUGHLIN, otherwise known as TITCH, the local fisherman and sometimes poacher, took us into an extinct volcano hunting for woodcock. This would be the first baby step on my journey towards becoming a hunter.
I'm locked in. I'm so on countryside, I'm locked in.
Well, this shotgun here's a 12 bore. Be careful not to put any bigger shells in it or you could end up with an explosion on your hands. Aye, good enough guns, do the job.
Carrying the shotguns, we started to feel like men, like seasoned hunters, like killers, with nature at our mercy.
Whoa!
When Titch worked out how lame we were, he made us practice on some clay pigeon.
You ready? Well, that's safety now.
Yeah.
Right, that's it on.
Oh.
Right, don't touch the trigger once you push it forward.
Alright.
You ready?
Right.
Hey! First shot, first blue.
Oh, that's my ears ringing. Very good at this though. Very good marksman. Oh well, magic doesn't ride twice.
Push it forward. No, this one here.
Right.
Just push it forward and you're ready to take the shot.
Okay.
Okay, you got a good tight grip on your shoulder?
Yeah.
You ready? Okay?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's all in preparation for him taking us out to shoot some actual real birds. Can't remember what kind of birds we're going to shoot.
Woodcock.
We're going to go shoot woodcock.
Right.
Which I'm pretty hyped about. I got bloodlust. I got gunlust. I got mine first time. I was like Terminator.
The deal is from this point is you two are going to be either side of me and we're going to go in through the trees here and up and round. And any woodcock that jumps out, I'll shout to you as woodcock. But wait for them to be high. The most important thing is don't shoot the dogs.
Alright.
It's really, really windy. You can barely walk forwards. Even if there was a woodcock, I'm pretty sure I can open my eyes to get it. This stupid country. Ah, Andy going. I'm amazed. Hit the first shot, I see a bit of feather. Second shot, I see something go around the corner, but I don't know if I got it or not. Well, I feel bad for the family.
We couldn't find Andy's bird, and it was windy as hell. But I had a gun, so I started shooting the shit out of the river and the sky, just to show Mother Nature who was boss. I was developing the cocky strut of a killer. If I'm honest, I've been trying not to think about doing this for about the last 3 weeks. There's something a bit distasteful about being the young go-getting media type from the city who flies off and slaughters beautiful creatures for a documentary. Last night I had some pretty unsubtle dream. When I was lying in a bed and someone had cut a square into my stomach and ripped organs out of me, which are two things I pretty much have to do to this deer today. We're going to go and meet the head stalker, Neil Roundtree. We don't know that much about him, but we know that every day he gets up early in the morning, loads his rifle, and goes and kills deer. So he should probably be able to deliver what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell a man's serious about death when he keeps the carcasses up on the wall. We don't get to shoot a stag because it's the wrong time of the season. We're going to shoot a woman, which is for some reason darker.
Yeah, well, what you want to do today when we're out is any instructions you get for your own safety in particular, follow them in detail. And we're approaching deer. You want to be in single file behind me. Avoid fast movements. Avoid the classic thing that everybody does, and you can watch this, is when you're out stalking up on deer. Very often people will do that to see what you're looking at. And because they're programmed on movement, if you stick your head round the corner of a hill or a skyline, they'll see it quite easily.
Okay.
And they'll take off. Their sense of preservation is better than ours.
How close are we able to get?
You should be able to get it, we'll ideally aim to be about 100 metres.
Okay. If you do get a good shot in, how long does it take before the animal dies?
If you hit it properly where you're instructed to shoot it today, the animal will die instantly. It'll collapse in front of you.
Okay.
And that'll be it.
Before I was allowed to take a life, I had to pass a shooting test. If I missed the target more than once in 4 shots, I wouldn't be allowed to do it. This was to make sure I wouldn't mess it up, blow an eye out, and leave a disabled deer to slowly die on the mountain. Slowly, methodically, Neil took me through the shooting process. 3 times out of 4, I nailed the target. And so, I was clear to hunt.
That's smack in the middle of the red plate this time.
On the way to the store, we paused to feed some stag. I guess that was some cruel poetry on Neil's behalf, because once hundreds of these amazing animals have leapt over the landscape to be fed by you, you realise what a beautiful thing you're killing.
They've been my whole life, all my life. I mean, I can remember going to see deer since I was a tiny little boy. And I've been fascinated with them since day one. For what we sell as a product to foreign visitors, we would probably cull that old stag this coming year. That stag, to give you an idea, is worth about £1,000 to us, to a client. But he's cheekier than he ought to be. You see the head tilting down at you there? Yeah. But if you stare at him too much, he bottles it. They don't like being stared at.
Did they ever attack humans ever?
My father was very badly mauled by one when I was a kid, but it was a park stag. That if they lose their fear of man, they become dangerous. He was quite badly lacerated with it. I mean, he was struck in the head and then 2 or 3 times in the body. Yeah.
Wow.
I think if I hadn't shot the stag when it was attacking him, it might have killed him.
You shot the stag when it was attacking him?
Yeah.
You saved your dad's life?
Yes.
That's a pretty cool thing to be able to do when you're 13.
Yeah, you do
Good
your
on a
best.
have-over-your-old man, isn't it? So we've actually just been this close to deer. Beautiful, beautiful stags. Which is a lovely experience, only we're on our way to kill their girlfriends. With any luck, one of the female deers will attack us and I'll have to shoot her out of an act of charity.
Deer stalking is centuries old, one of the most traditional forms of hunting in the world, and the vast majority of venison is still produced this way. The deer are culled in order to promote the health of the land and the ecosystem. The stalker's prey is chosen specifically. Once it's been shot, the carcass is butchered locally and exported as organic free-range meat. The process is a large part of a local economy short of many other options. Tourists like me, we were continually assured, only help to keep this part of the world from becoming a desert. So remember, killing these pretty things is dead ethical.
We'll try and whisper to one another, but once we get really close, we mightn't be able to speak. It might just be hand signals. So if you're happy, quite simple, thumbs up. If you're not so happy, nod your head, shake your head. Just so, exactly that. If you burst into tears, I'll know you're not feeling up for it.
Where's the nearest hospital?
Fort William.
How far away is it?
It's about 70 miles away.
Good, good.
Yep.
Is this kind of the normal steepness that we'll be dealing with?
Yes. This is going from sea level to nearly 1,800 feet.
How heavy is this thing?
The biggest stag we shot here last season in 2008 was 24 stone 1.
So, I mean, when you're kind of dragging them back, do we let gravity do most of the work?
No.
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 We let us do the work.
Yeah, you'll do the work.
Oh, good. We haven't gone that far. It's still really quite exhausting.
How old?
Oh, I'm 25.
Embarrassing.
How old are you?
44.
We've just climbed up some of the steepest stuff I've ever walked up for about an hour. It's pretty tiring, the view's absolutely incredible. But Neil's just told us that he spotted the deer just over the ridge there. As he puts it, the game is on, which means it's going to be quite quiet and single file from now on.
The idea is to disturb them as little as possible. So once you've shot, you don't move. And everything goes according to plan. The animal will drop where it's shot, and the others will look around to try and figure out what's happened, and then quietly drift away. The main group is about 80 metres away.
Suddenly, Neil dropped to his knees. We all followed him and crawled through icy mud for about 30 metres until we reached a mound. My grassy knoll. We stayed frozen for at least 30 minutes while Neil chose our victim. Eventually he beckoned. I crawled alongside him and he pointed out which deer I was going to shoot.
Good man. Don't move, it's well hit, it's well hit. Okay, just wait for a second, can't now reload your rifle please. Bolt back, straight forward. Safety off and wait for instructions. See the animal falling? Down she goes. And it's over. Safety on, finger.